network took a crap on the floor, the entire network went down, and it just came back up. Why? I have no idea. Don't ask me. I don't know. So, anyway, since we're rudely interrupted, let's get back to the game. As per usual, I am not on PlayStation. I'm not online because of PlayStation Network, because they refuse to have online for free. So that's fine. I'll play the normal game then. We currently have our AC piloted as we speak right now, the way it is right now. If you want, I can go into the garage and show you guys how I have this one set up. It's considering this is still the beginning of the game. I'm kind of stuck right now in this game on this one level. This game is one of the hardest Armored Core games, because this game did not, because Bandai Namco is in charge of this game, they removed 3 key components to the Armored Core universe that makes it easy to pilot these things. Now, this game is the first game in a very long time that these things have become notoriously hard to pilot. The last time this game was ever had controls like this, Sega actually made an Armored Core game for PlayStation 3. Sega produced an Armored Core game for PlayStation 3, and when Sega did so, a lot of people complained and bitched about the controls. Well, this is the same control scheme as the Sega game. They completely abandoned the control scheme, the entire game from the last game that was made on PlayStation 3. They completely abandoned everything from that game and everything from all the old games, and they took after the PlayStation 3 version. So you're going to see things in this game that if you've been playing this game for decades, might make you scratch your head. So, excuse me, oh, I'm very sorry about that. Alright. Then you might see things that might make you scratch your head. Now, normally when you play this game, you see the head, core, arms, and legs first. First, you see the weapons. Now, why you see weapons first is beyond me. Only the Sega version of this game had the weapons first. That could be very confusing, because the first thing you need is your base. You need a solid and sturdy base to sit on. So naturally, the frame needs to be done first. The head, the core, arms, and the legs. Those have to be done first, so those should be on top. Then your weapons, then the internals. Internals are very important. Now, for the PlayStation 1 version, the internals were simply add-ons. As you acquired the add-on throughout the entirety of the game, you can simply add that add-on. And the more add-ons you got, the more expansion the AC had. Now, they have the same thing, but in the beginning, there really isn't that much. I mean, yeah, they have an assault armor. But I don't know if you guys remember correctly, but any of you guys remember what the assault armor does? If I remember correctly, do not quote me on this. If I remember correctly, the assault armor was first introduced trying to think. Assault armor was not introduced to PlayStation 1. Maybe PS2 versions. Assault armor did exist for the Sega version. The Sega version of this game did have assault armor. It kind of sucked, but it was there. So the assault armor was a thing. I never found a use for it, but yes, it did exist. The Sega version of this game, honestly, it sucked. It was quite possibly one of the worst games I've ever seen that had the Armored Core name on it. The graphics were horrific. Gameplay was horrific. I've seen Sega bomb a lot of stuff, but to bomb this game, that was a tragedy. I played halfway through that game and I just stopped. I went, I'm done. This game sucks. And once they came out with that one game after that, I was like, finally, a game I could get my hands dirty on. When I found out it was multiplayer and PlayStation Network had free multiplayer, I was like, now we're talking. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. And PlayStation 4, they had PlayStation Plus. And then I knew that that game would never come back, ever. Because nobody in their right mind will pay that amount of money to play online multiplayer. It's not worth it. So people who made Armored Core, or whoever got the rights to make it, had no choice but to make a one player, which is this one. Whoever got the Bandai Namco had absolutely no choice. They acquired the rights. Instead of continuing the online multiplayer like they did before, they were stuck making one player that they didn't want to make. It was made obvious because this game is not as good as the ones from the old days. This game's storyline is not clear. The gameplay is not as good. This gameplay, it feels like I'm playing the Sega version of it. It feels like I'm playing a stiff-legged robot. Granted, this is a robot. They make it feel exactly like it's a robot. But when you're piloting an Armored Core mech, you don't have a control stick in front of you. You're piloting this thing with your brain. In reality, Let me go back. Way back in the original PlayStation game, the original Armored Core for PlayStation 1, there was a couple of corporations that were fighting each other. One in particular was experimenting on certain technologies. Namely, they're experimenting on one program, and the program was putting the pilots' lives at risk. It was called a Human Plus program. I believe the corporation was Murakumo. And the Human Plus program, they didn't really get into grave details about it. But the way the Human Plus program worked was that the idea of piloting that mech, instead of using controls, you're piloting it using your brain. You're thinking and the mech is moving. That's what the Human Plus program was all about. It was the idea of piloting the mech using your brain. That's what the Human Plus program was all about. So, naturally, you would assume that if that did continue, the game mechanics would get so much harder, and there'd be less pilot skill and less emphasis on pilots and pilot training. So naturally, From Software had no choice but to kind of like send Murakumo packing. Because if they did continue with that storyline and it did in fact go through, that would have been the first and only Armored Core game ever made. If they continued on with the Murakumo storyline, there would have never been another Armored Core game made ever again. Which would have been a shame, because they had an ass ton of games. I mean, they had maybe 3 or 4 for original PlayStation. They had 6 for PlayStation 2. And they had 2 for PlayStation 3 and 1 for PlayStation 4. So these guys have been going at this for years. And throughout the PlayStation 1, the storyline continued until the final game for the original PlayStation was made. When that game was made, the original storyline died. Why? Because Armored Core Masters of Arena was the last game for the original PlayStation. And because of that reason, people had forgotten about the original storyline. So therefore, they end up going over and they end up getting introduced to an entirely new storyline. It had nothing to do with anything from the old days. It was an okay storyline. It was consistent. It was a consistent storyline for PlayStation 2. It was basically one corporation versus another corporation. PlayStation 2 was all about you're a merc, different corporations are hiring you to do different missions. To either find out what's going on with one corporation do some reconnaissance or sabotage whatever they're doing so that you can do it better. And you're getting paid to do that. And then they're going to pay, another company's going to pay you to investigate what happened here. Meanwhile, you're the person that did it, and they don't know that. So, in reality, you're doing damage and you're cleaning up the mess. That's part of being a mercenary. You have to learn to keep your mouth shut, and you have to know when to take a mission and when to not take a mission. You have to know when something's going to be a trap. See, now, they have something similar. These guys who made this one did something very similar. The only problem is that if you pick the easy way out, because I already tried this, if you pick the easy way out and investigate, I would have thought immediately you'll get found, because you're not gonna find any information about your own whereabouts. If you do find information from dialogue, it's not going to be complete, because you're going to make sure that it's not complete, because you don't want them to know that it was you. So naturally, I would understand that you would want to take a mission like that, because any information you find, you're going to make sure they don't get all of it. Well, just for fun, I did the mission. I actually invaded a weapons plant, and I basically tore it apart in this game. And the other company wanted to hire me to investigate who was behind the tearing apart of their factory. What company? Not the AC that did the job. What company was behind it? So I simply said, okay, that's fine. I'll take the mission. Sure enough, I went on that mission, and guess what happened? I basically, because they told me that there really wasn't going to be anything going on, so you don't have to take anything big, so I traveled light. It was a trap. And because it was a trap, I wasn't prepared for it, and therefore, I got killed instantly. And the fact that I got killed instantly, that set me back. What I didn't know is that when you die in this game, it sets you back a while. I mean, it really does set you back big time, and you lose money, a lot of money. So therefore, even being able to even go out on the mission and actually winning it is impossible now, because you agreed to that one mission, so you have to do that. You have to do that one mission. Why? Because you agreed to do it. Even though they found you out and blah blah blah, you still have to go back in that mission and complete it. But how can you complete it if it's a trap? And how can you equip your mech to be prepared for that trap when you're so beyond broke because you lost that mission? Then now you're in the minus, and if you wanted to prepare for that mission, you couldn't. So this game has you stun locked. If you make the wrong decision, this game instantly stun locks you and you can't move forward. No matter how hard you try, you can't move forward. I love this game, and I love the fact that they're switching things around. But the lack of missions in the very beginning, it's kind of depressing. Because I assumed that if they had missions, like little missions here and there, just to get your money up, so you can possibly get better parts a little bit, maybe you might be able to get close to defeating that mission. Because don't forget, you still have your newbie core. You still have your newbie parts. So you really don't have the money to even get any better stuff still. You're still new. So you really don't have the money to buy anything decent in the store. I mean, by the time you hit this mission, the store just opened up, which means you have literally no money. So you still have your base mech with a couple of base parts. So you only have enough money for a new weapon, and that's it. You cannot upgrade the mech at all in its entirety. I think there's a couple of missions where you can get parts from them. You can get the dual missile launchers that I have on the back. Let me see if I can show you guys the missile launchers. You can get involved in a mission and the mission will get you you can get involved in a mission that can give you only one of those. Doing that will unlock those from the store. These come in very handy when you're attacking the wall. That mission when you have to attack a wall. Well, it's called the wall, but it's really a base. It looks like a big giant wall. When you're attacking the wall, these missiles are lifesavers. I highly recommend them. Now, after you buy these missiles for this one mission, you now need more parts for your next mission. And you have to buy the part you need for your next mission, which means a new head. Your base head is that. Well, you end up buying this head. But what you don't realize that after that mission's over, your next mission, this head is no longer good. You have no choice. You have to buy a new head. You still haven't even gotten any decent weapons yet. Only thing you have is this and that. I mean, granted, that's your base blade. But no, that's the base blade right there. This blade shows up in the store shortly after. So you have a better blade. But the rifles, they're cheaper. Okay? Your standard automatic, your standard rifle is this one. This is your basic standard rifle. Now, for the wall mission, I got this. Because that mission is that mission requires you to reload halfway through the mission. And if you're using standard ammunition, the one thing I learned in Armored Core, if you're using weapons that require ammunition, standard ammunition, it's going to charge you for repairs and to reload your guns. Which means that even if you win the mission, your dollar amounts are going to be in the minus. I learned my lesson a long time ago, never to use solid ammunition in Armored Core. Ever. Only use energy weapons. Use your blades, use your laser rifles, use your laser machine guns, use your plasma cannons mounted on the shoulders. Use your laser cannons mounted on the shoulders, use those. Why? Because when the mission's over, they're going to charge you for AC repairs, and they're going to charge you ammunition. Ammunition repairs, ammunition recharge is going to be extremely expensive. Why? Because the more, remember this, the more corporations you do jobs for, that's going to piss off another corporation. Now, the corporations you pissed off, you have their weapon in your possession. Now, you're reloading that weapon, which means you need to buy the ammunition from that company, which means that the price is now going to go up, which means you now can't afford to reload this weapon. Hence the reason why I never use solid ammunition guns, because the corporation, the people everybody who you're doing missions for in this game are the same people who make the parts that make your mech, that pilot your mech. Keep this in mind. Armored Core is all about companies and corporations. Each company and corporation makes parts for your mech. Now, if you like certain parts and you know what corporation makes them, then do missions for them. Do not piss them off. Because if you do anything against them, they're going to charge you. They're either going to discontinue the parts from you altogether, or they're going to charge unbelievable amounts for reloading and or the guns. So keep this in mind. I want you to really keep this in mind. I've been playing Armored Core for decades, and every game has done the same exact thing. In the original PlayStation version, if you decided to take Mercumo's side and you pissed off Chrome, every single core, Mercumo Millennium did not make cores, which means that most of your cores would cost you an unbelievable amount of money. I mean, unreal. Chrome would purposely jack the prices up on the cores on purpose because you pissed them off. So be careful. Now look on my screen right now. See a little symbol? And it says vertical missile launcher. It has a little symbol next to it. That is the corporation that makes that part. I believe it says, if I'm walking up the screen, I'm looking at it. I think it's Archivist. I think that might be Archivist. Now, the company that made now, if you remember correctly, there's a mission where you have to investigate an abandoned Bow's facility. Well, Bow's is the company that makes this burst rifle right here. So by you investigating their facility, the price will be steadily lower on any of their weapons. Bow's makes guns. They do not make core parts, they only make guns. That's it. Guns and ammunition for the guns. Bow's does not make electric weapons, only guns. Now, if you do anything to piss them off, the price will skyrocket through the roof. And if they ever find out, they'll skyrocket. If you do something and they never find out about it, you're fine. Make sure your tracks are covered and make sure no one rats on you. If someone rats on you, if you don't do a mission and someone else does, you know they're gonna rat on you because they don't care, they don't know you. Remember, your fellow Ravens don't give a shit whether you live or die. Being a Raven is being a mercenary. You're only in it for yourself, and that's it. So your fellow Ravens are not going to cover your back. There is no strength in numbers here, and it's every man for himself. So you have to be very careful in this game. Whether in the past or in this game, you still have to be very careful who you buy the weapon from. For example, the burst rifle is made by Bow's. The standard gun the first gun you get when you start the game was Balaam. Your very first mission is from Balaam. Why is your very first mission from Balaam? Because they gave you the weapons to start out with. That's why Balaam gave you your very first mission. Because your very first gun came from Balaam. Now, if you decide to go energy route, you have to be very careful. Because Archivist is the sole proprietor of energy weapons, namely laser rifles, plasma cannons, laser blades. That's 100% Archivist. So if you ever want all energy stuff, do not piss off Archivist. Stay on their good side. Never, ever try to piss off Archivist if you can't help it. If you have to, if there is no other choice, do it. Because they really don't give you that much of a choice. Honestly, they really don't. So now, if you'll notice, they have different choices on the bottom of the screen. It says install, back, play video, toggle display, which is that, sort, and help. Play video. I have never done that, but because we're live, I'm going to do that to show you guys what that is, because I don't even know what this is. Okay, it's showing you what the weapon can do. Now, you have to understand, in the original PlayStation version and the PlayStation 2 versions, a laser rifle, you pushed it and it fired a shot. In the Sega version of the game, you had the option to charge the laser rifle. When it was done charging, you were able to fire it at full power. What this video is showing right now is that all laser rifles have the option to charge the weapon and fire it, which takes twice as long, but it gives you a chance to aim very carefully. Therefore, you're using less shots, also draining your generator more. So, by having weapons that do this, you need to make sure your generator will be able to handle it. So, namely, I have two energy weapons right there. I have this one, and I have this one. I need to make sure I have a decent generator, because if I don't, I'm not going to be doing good. So let's see if we can check. Okay, now, what we're looking at right here what we're looking at right here, we have energy capacity. Energy capacity is how much energy can this generator hold? What is the major capacity? What is the capacity that the amount of energy that this generator can store in it? Energy recharge, EN recharge. This number is the speed at which the energy recharges itself when you use something. For example, if you fire one burst from your laser rifle, your energy capacity goes down, your energy level goes down, then the energy recharge kicks in and the generator starts charging. The speed at which it recharges is your EN recharge level. The next one is called supply recovery. Supply recovery is a new feature for this version only. Supply recovery never existed in any of the games. What supply recovery is, if you completely drain it from scratch, how long will the generator take to recover to start charging again? So naturally, the higher this number, the stronger the energy recovery is going to be. So this holds 434 spare watts. So if you drain the entire generator down, you're left with 434 watts. That's a supply recovery number. If you do not use that 434 watts, it will start charging at a normal speed. That is a new feature for this game only. You never had spare energy in a generator. Your generator had a bar. When the bar ran out, it was completely dead. You couldn't do anything that involved energy. All you heard was a beep. Until it done beeping, you couldn't do shit. You couldn't use anything. You couldn't use any boost. Anything involving energy, you were screwed. Majorly screwed. So naturally, if you have all energy weapons like I do, you have to make sure you have the best generator in the game with the highest energy capacity in the game. Otherwise, you are in big trouble. Hence the reason why I have the two hand weapons that are energy weapons and I have missiles on the shoulders. Because if I use too much energy, I will immediately switch to my missiles and start firing missiles. Post-recovery energy supply. Post-recovery energy supply, again, is another stat set only for PlayStation 4, set only for this game only. This was not from This is not another one of not from Software's stats. They did not come up with this. After the generator recovers, the post-recovery energy supply is how much energy you will start out with after the energy is done recovering. For example, you have 434 spare supply recovery. Add 1200 to it, you have 12,434. So that's 1,634. It's how much energy you will have once you are done recovering the generator. 1,634. So your supply recovery is your emergency energy supply. Post recovery is how much energy you will start out with once you're fully charged. Energy firearm specifications. This is another PlayStation 4 add-on for the generator. This was not part of any of the games. This stat all depends on the amount of damage that your energy weapon will do. If this number is higher, your energy-based weapon, namely your blade or your rifle, will do more damage if that energy firearm specification number is higher. For example, this generator has a specific spec number of 94. This one has 72, which means my laser rifle will be stronger if I use this generator. Naturally, will be stronger if I use this generator because I have a stronger capacity, stronger recharge. Naturally, this generator supports energy weapons better anyway. So it doesn't. So in reality, Energy firearm specifications is an absolute bogus bullshit stat. Because as long as the generator can support heavy loads and recover fast, that's all you should be worried about. All the extra stats come in handy if you need something for one reason and one reason only. For example, I don't know if they have it in this game. Yes, they do. There we go. Your fire control system. Fire control systems are something that really people paid attention to in the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2. PlayStation 3 fire control system, nobody bothered with it. Well, it's back. And it should be back, because the fire control system is very important. Fire control systems, if you're not old school, you have no idea what this is, it's very simple. A fire control system is attached to the head. Now, the head, your head part is supposed to have a built-in fire control system, which means it can provide a simple lock-on, not fast. It's a simple short-range fire control system for guns only. These fire control systems are more strategic. They're meant for close, medium, and long-range weapons. They either do single locks or multi-locks. For example, this one specializes in absolutely nothing. This is a standard AC fire control system. This one has average close range locks, way below average medium range locks, and a little bit below average long range locks. Now it has no chance of having a multi-lock. So if you have a multi-missile with this FCS, don't count on even getting one multi-lock at all. If you can lock on up to 6 guys at once with that weapon, don't count on your FCS doing it if you have this one attached. Because you need the greatest multi-lock correction if you have a multi-missile. So weapons you need to have a fire control system set up for specific weapons you have on there. For example, if you have a multi-missile, you need an FCS that has a multi-lock capability. If you have missiles, you need a long-range FCS as well as a medium-range assist, because obviously you're going to have a simple rifle or a gun, so you're going to need medium range at all times. So medium and long range are average. Your close range assist is for your laser blades, handguns, and rockets. That's what close range assist is for. That's all it's ever used for. Close range assist, you really do not need. Medium and long range assist, you definitely are going to need. 80% of the guns are medium range guns, and all the missiles are long range missiles. Rockets are strictly short range capabilities. You can fire a rocket on long range. Do you want to? No, you do not want to, but you can if you want to. I mean, how the hell are you going to aim a rocket from long distances. Rockets do not have lock capabilities. Rockets are manually aimed. Any gun or missile that is manual aiming, you do not want to use it from long range, because if it doesn't have a lock capability, how is it going to hit the target? The only thing you use rockets for is stationary targets like buildings, buildings, turrets, things that do not move. That's what you use close range weapons that do not lock for. For example, blades and rockets. Generators, we went over expansion slots. We went over what the assault armor was. Assault armor was introduced in the Sega era, so it's something that you're never going to use that often, and when you do use it, you're using it once per. You can only use the assault armor once per mission, because assault armor is meant as a last ditch effort. You have to do this. You have to kill this guy. You don't give a shit if it hurts your mech or not. You have to kill this guy. That's what assault armor is for. The assault armor goes all out. Everything in your mech is drained, gone. All right. Well, we went over that. Now that we went over some of the more logistical stuff, I believe in the very beginning when I covered this game, we went over paint and decals. Image editor, we went over when I made that logo right there. When I made that logo right there, I had you guys go over the image editor. The original image editor from the original PlayStation 1 version was extremely simple, extremely pixelated, but it was easier to get shapes the same size because it had a copy-paste function, the original one. This one does not have a copy-paste function. So making a logo look even and nice and neat, not possible. You can't copy and paste something. It's not going to happen. You have to have layers. This one has something that the others don't have. This one has layers. For example, only allowed a certain amount of layers per logo. A layer is one shape, one letter. For example, look at the image I have right there. That has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 layers. You're only allowed 20 layers per image. 20 layers per image, and you're allowed 500 images. Now, the way I designed my original logo, I put black checks on top and on bottom. I had a small clover, with the small words clover in black. Now, each change you make, they consider that a layer. And I already used the amount of layers I had for the shapes, so I couldn't change any colors. All I could do is just tint, and that's it. So I don't want to be bothered with tinting, so I just said, the hell with it. And I couldn't make it dark green like it was over there because of the lettering. Because if I made this clover symbol smaller, you wouldn't see it. Why? Because the logos are smaller in this game than they are in the original games. So I had to make a few changes to my original logo. Unfortunately. I'll show you guys what my original logo looks like. Hold on. See that right there? Oh, well. I don't know if you guys saw that. I don't know if you guys saw that, but next to my name, there's a logo next to my name. The logo next to my name for PlayStation Network is my original PlayStation 1 Armored Core logo. I tried to get that logo on. I was able to transfer that logo onto the PlayStation 3 version, PlayStation 4 version. Nothing. This game was completely different. Nothing from any of the previous games was able to transfer over. Nothing. Not your stats, not your parts, not your images. Jack shit. Nada. This game was like starting from scratch. Considering I've been playing this game for decades and nothing transferred over, right off the bat, that made me upset because I worked very hard to get all these parts and complete all these games, and I never got any credit at all. I mean, granted, the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2, they're not going to give me any credit for those because they were not online. The PlayStation 2 had online capabilities, but no one ever had the modem attached to the PlayStation 2. Yes, the PS2 had an optional modem you can attach to it. If you had it, you were able to play Armored Core games online. They had an online server. Not many people used it, but there was an online server. You were able to have a friend join you on the missions, on the one-player missions. So if you had trouble defeating a mission, you could have a friend of yours join you on that mission and help you defeat that mission. That's the way they did in the PlayStation 2 versions. I kind of liked it. I wanted to get the modem just to try it, but couldn't find the modem. I have a funny feeling the modem might have only been in Japan. And if I couldn't find the modem, wasn't easily found, none of my friends found it either. Most of my friends are from US. I do have a few of them that are from Canada. One of them's from Europe. Most of them are from the US, and if I can't find it, it's not worth trying it. So, the modem I wanted to try, but I couldn't find it. So therefore, transferring my logos over the PlayStation 3 was going to be very difficult indeed. But because I was able to get my original PlayStation game, I have no idea how I got it to work, but I got the original PlayStation game to work, to actually save on the PlayStation 3. Don't ask me how I did this, but my original PS3, I was able to put the original Armored Core game in, have one game save, and that transferred that image of that logo to my PlayStation account, which means I was able to have my Armored Core logo that I created that went on Masters of Arena, and I was able to put it as my user picture for PlayStation Network, which is great. So that's a good thing. So then there's that. So now when you get up to a certain point, this opens up. I haven't gone in this yet at all. As you can see, there's still a dot there. I wanted to be online for us to experience this together. When you get past a certain mission, this opens up. Now, I'm guessing that more stuff is going to open up eventually, but now let's together experience what this is all about, because I have absolutely no clue what this is. So we're going to experience this together. Okay, Arena. It says enemy data rank 29, F rank, which is the same rank as me. It says, like many other dozers, which means this is not an Armored Core robot, this is a construction vehicle. Now, the original Armored Core, sometimes you were fighting against construction vehicles. They were called MTs. You probably never heard of the term MT being used, but MT is a term used in the original Armored Core, where an MT is something that is solidly built. It's built for one purpose and only one purpose only. Parts cannot be interchanged or exchanged. It's built for one job, and that's it. Which means you can't change the head, you can't change the core, you can't change the legs. It's not interchangeable. It's kind of like an MT is more like a Gundam. It's one piece. You can't take it apart. A Gundam, you're not able to take the head and separate it from the arms. At AC, you can take the entire thing apart and redo the entire thing. So an MT is more like a Gundam. What you see is what you got, and that's it. So this is an MT. This is more or less like this is used for construction purposes. So naturally, he's going to be easy to kill, more or less. Now, as far as the pilot goes, they give you a small description about the pilot and how he's like. So you'll know basically how he plays based off of the description they're giving you. It says here, like many other dozers, Rummy's utterly addicted to coral-based drugs. In his perpetually addicted state, he has convinced himself that he is truly an invincible demigod. Even though reality intervenes with a costly defeat, he will forget about the setback the very next day. Only death can dispel his nations of invincibility now. He thinks he's invincible because he's on drugs. Meanwhile, he's in a construction vehicle and he's fighting it like it's an AC. Obviously, if he wasn't on drugs and he had a real AC, he'd probably be halfway decent. Because if he has the balls to show up here and fight in the arena with a construction vehicle and think he's a demigod, if he was not on drugs, my guess is that he would be halfway decent. So, in reality, you may think, oh, he sucks, he don't even have an AC. Don't ever take anybody into consideration. Just because the AC sucks, it doesn't mean the pilot sucks. You could be piloting a golf cart, but if you're the best damn pilot, you'll find a way of making it work. Alright. This guy looks like he's a little bit more of a pain in the ass. Guerrilla leader of the Rubicon Liberation Front. Blue-collar worker who was involved in the construction of the grid. He is now dedicated to establishing symbiosis with the coral and building future of Rubicon. Free from planetary closure, inspired by Father Dillman's ideas. Able-bodied and eager, he is zealously dedicated to the cause. He is more at home in the construction on yard than the cockpit. Right there, that tells you he's dedicated. Dedicated. But he is used to doing things off the cockpit. He is not constantly in the cockpit training. So the two of them, the first guy is not even in the right mech. The second guy is in the right mechs. He doesn't have the experience. Now, if you were to take the first guy and put him in the second robot, you'd have a problem on your hands. Because the first guy is a really good pilot, but he's in a really shitty mech. Second guy is a shit pilot, he's in a really good mech. So the first two are kind of like not that good. Now the third one, I haven't even gone up against him yet. So I've never actually seen this guy yet. Gun 6 of the Red Guns in the Balaam's Group AC Squad. Now you're starting to get mechs that are involved in companies and corporations. Now you have to be careful. When you start to see mechs that mention corporations in their descriptions, if you do not want to piss off that particular company, be very careful when you approach that particular person. Although, if you do defeat him, Balaam might hire you and go, gee, they're not that bad. They just defeated him. He's one of our good guys. Maybe we should contact him. So that actually might get them excited and contact you for a mission. So think of it this way. The arena might be a good opportunity to show these corporations what you got. But it could also, if you're not in their good graces, it might tick them off even more. Fortunately for me, Balaam is in very good spirits with me, so if I were to beat this guy, I would probably get double the amount of missions I would get before. Because I would instantly be in Balaam's good graces. Because if I beat this guy clean, I would have no problems finding parts from Balaam. So if you're having trouble with a mission and the arena's open, read carefully the next guy. And if you're finding that they're a corporation robot, take a chance. It just might unlock more parts that you might need. So, because remember, more parts only come in the shop if the corporations are willing to sell them to you. If the corporation right now does not trust you, they're not going to sell you the part that they made. Yes, they're making money from the part, but to have that part used against them, they don't want that. But if you prove to them that you are amazing, they're going to want you to represent their company. So therefore, they're going to approach you with missions, and they're going to approach you in the arena. So, with Armored Core pilots, the arena is not only a chance to do one-on-ones, the arena is an opportunity to get all the corporations to get to know you. So you want to slowly introduce yourself to the arena and keep an eye on the corporations that are involving themselves in the arena. And do you want to get their attention? Yes or no? For example, if you did a mission that pissed off Balaam, you might not want to compete in the arena at this point in time. Why? Because beating one of their guys after you just beat the crap out of their base would piss them off even more. See what I'm talking about? Whatever you do in this game, no matter whether it's in the arena or in the missions, the game instantly takes it into consideration, and it either makes them happy to see you or it ticks them off. So you have to be very, very careful. If you're not sure if you're not sure if you're doing the right thing or not, go into your previous missions and look and pay attention to the companies that hired you. If the companies that hired you, if you completed all the missions from that one company, if you completed at least a minimum of 2 missions from one same company, that company now trusts you. Which means that if you defeated one of their guys, they might toss a ton of missions from you. You have to have 2 missions from one corporation in order for them to trust you, as per Armored Core rules. I don't care who makes the game. That's the way it's always been. You have to have 2 missions corporation has to hire you for a minimum of 2 missions. If they hire you for a minimum of 2 missions and you succeed in both of them, whether you make money or not, if you succeed, then you have more of a chance of doing better and getting more from them in the stores. So now let's check our missions and check Balaam and see if we even have a chance in hell as far as missions goes. Replay missions. That was not a corporation mission. Now these are just basic missions. I don't even think any of these were really now all these missions, every one of these missions had a corporation that paid you. In order to see what now, back in the old days, they used to have the corporation that hires you for it listed right there. They don't have the corporation. They no longer have the corporation that hired you. You have to watch. You have to literally watch the video all over again. So now, that's a test right there. That is an official mission right there. So we can see who hired us for this mission. Repeat the briefing. We're now going to see every single one of the corporations that we worked with.
You're joining an operation planned by Balaam HQ. Check the briefing.
There's our first mission that involves Balaam.
Good. Sit your...
Okay, so the first mission was Balaam. We know that.
Got a job for you, 621. This one's a request from the Archivist Group.
One from Balaam, one from Archivist.
Raven, this request comes from Schneider, an Archivist subsidiary. The mission will take place in the Bonadea dunes of Western Belius. Our coral investigation there is being blocked by the Strider, a Rubicon Liberation Front mining ship. You are to destroy it. The Strider is a mobile resource base.
Okay, so now Archivist and Balaam are the two that we did jobs for so far. This is going to be the big one, because this is our very first one we're attacking another corporation.
They want you to assist with a mission the corporations are calling Operation Wall Climber.
This is V2 Snell, leader of the Vesper 2nd Squad. I will chair the briefing for this mission. This is an operation of my own design. Consider it a privilege to be called to participate. You will be attacking the Wall, a key trading outpost fortified by the Rubicon Liberation Front. The rabble have formed a defensive line comprised of artillery and MT squads. Break through the line, then make your way to the top of the wall. There you shall to find the Juggernaut, a mobile heavy artillery platform. Destroy it. V4 will also be participating in this mission, infiltrating through a separate route. However, be aware that Balaam has also taken a crack at the wall, only for their vainglorious hopes to be dashed. Do try not to die like a dog out there.
Which means Balaam is also involved in this mission, which means this might be the very first mission. If Balaam ever finds out that you're involved in this mission, it could reduce the support they give you. Because right now, Balaam, you're in very good shape with them. By completing this mission, if they ever find out, anybody ever finds out that you're involved in this, Balaam will not like you less. Now, Arquebus, or you already did one mission for Arquebus. If you complete this mission, you're going to be in their good graces, big time. So, Balaam might go down a little bit. Arquebus will go up a lot, because this is a hard mission. This mission took me a good 4 tries to complete. This is a quick mission. This is not really a hard mission. I mean, it's just a really quick mission. That's why the pay is not really high. So, but it is a cooperation mission, as you can see. And I take the cooperation missions very seriously because I want to know who wants them done.
One of the Balaam companies has put in a request.
Attention, Gun 13 Raven. This request comes from our affiliate DAFA. Conducting an investigation into the Vespers, Arquebus' augmented human squad. Currently our focus is on their 4th squad leader, V4 Rusty.
That was the person that...
Operation Wall Climber and retrieve combat logs from the wrecks he left on his way in. The wall is now under Arquebus' control, and they've stationed their MT squads there for the Coral Survey.
Guess who that was that did that? You did that. Now if you do not do this mission, if you retrieve the logs, every one of them, now if you do this mission successfully and get every single log that there is, you don't miss anything, Rusty will get blamed and you will not get blamed. And you'll stay under both corporations' good graces. Rusty will immediately get blamed for the event, and you will not. That's the life. That's the life of Raven. That happens. There's nothing personal against Rusty. They're hiring you to do a job. You knew what went down. You didn't say anything. It's not your job to say anything. So you're just doing what you're told. So the thing is, if you ever find this mission, do this mission as soon as it pops up. Do not pass this mission by. Complete this mission. Otherwise, you're going to be on the chopping block instead of Rusty. They're going to come after you first thing. And at this point in the game, you do not have enough weapon parts to even survive. You don't have enough parts in the store to be able to survive an attack that big. Rusty's mech is not bad. Rusty can handle a lot. You can't. At this point in the game, you cannot handle anything. You still, at this point, when this mission comes up, you still, at this very point, you still have your default mech. You do not have any new parts other than maybe your head. The only thing you might have that's new are your weapons. That's it. Maybe your head. Everything else on your mech is all stock. Because you don't have enough money. Wall Climber, Operation Wall Climber got you enough money to get you better weapons, at least. And your first mission enabled you to get a better head. Operation Wall Climber enabled you to get better weapons. This weapon didn't do anything for you. And it didn't pay enough. But if you paid attention to the storyline, this mission prevented you from getting in trouble from Operation Wall Climber. So if you chose not to do this mission after doing Wall Climber, congratulations, you took the wrong turn and you're about to get ass whooped very soon. Now, if you were smart and you took this mission and completed it, then you're in good shape. Because then that means you're going to be doing the same mission I'm doing right now. Now, if you completed the same missions I did, you're on the same point. You're on the same point I am. Although this mission is extremely hard, it's not half as bad as the mission that you would have had to do. It's not half as bad as the mission you would have had to do normally. So, we're going to give this mission a shot.
Got a job for you, 621. The client is the Rubicon Liberation Front. Here's the briefing.
Right off the bat,
dealt us a heavy blow.
Rubicon Liberation Front.
Yet,
The fact that this is not a corporation,
corporate pawn. Perhaps we can even work
you
together.
cannot trust them. Rubicon Liberation Front
Arsenal number 2, a major MT
cannot be
factory
trusted.
engine.
Absolutely
Both
cannot be
operations
trusted.
sells to anyone, but they've been essential to maintaining our firepower. Now, their second arsenal has gone silent overnight. If it were only a comms failure, a simple check-in would do. But, well, after the Strider, more cautious voices have gained influence. This isn't our finest moment, but would appreciate your help.
Okay. Now, after hearing that, now pay very close attention to the mission. It says infiltrate facility, survey, in other words, survey, meaning survey the damage and or the status of the facility. Infiltrate Barrow's Arsenal number 2 and determine why it went silent. Which means if there is something there, they're going to be tearing that place apart. And they're afraid to send their own people in, so they're hiring you to do their dirty work. That sounds like a Raven job. That sounds like a normal, average, everyday Raven job. But Bows did not hire you for this mission. Rubicon Liberation Front did. And Rubicon Liberation Front is the company that, in reality, as part of this game, they are your enemy. Even though, at this point, they're not your enemy. at the end of the game, they're going to be your enemy. If all goes well and you make the right decisions, they will be your enemy. So, in reality, all these corporations are now going to be backing the Ravens very soon. Once the Rubicon Liberation Front gains enough notoriety, they're going to basically be taking over. And they're going to be backing Rubicon. Because once the Liberation Front realizes what Rubicon's after, they're going to want a piece of it. So, because Rubicon is something that you really don't want to fuck with. And you would think the Rubicon Liberation Front, you want to help them. So, in the beginning, yes, take whatever missions they ask for because they're the good guys. Later on in the game, through future missions, you will start to realize that they're not doing things the right way. But for now, this is just a checkup mission. That's fine. Take it. Granted, this is a hard mission. I'm probably going to die. I'm probably not going to complete this mission, but we'll do it anyway. This is a very hard mission.
Advice before you go, 621. Expect the unexpected.
This is a very hard mission. And to complete this mission, you have to be on your toes. You have to have the best parts on your mech. And the fact that I pissed off one too many people, I don't have the best parts on my mech. I made 2 wrong decisions and I got left with average parts. So that's not good.
Commence mission. Investigate Baus Arsenal number 2. I've been checking the perimeter and I'm picking up nothing. What happened here?
Now, you know what I miss? Upper right-hand corner of the screen. The original Armored Core for PlayStation 1 used to have a square radar detector. Used to have a radar detector, like a big square on the right-hand side, or a circle, depending on what head you had and what radar you had equipped. Depending on what you had equipped, that's... Whoa, we don't want to be bothered with that. Be very, very cautious. Try to be very cautious with this one. Granted, there's not going to be anything there. Whoa. There we go. Push down on the D-pad. By doing that, you're gonna do this. I'm used to the original PlayStation version, where it had a radar. Were you able to put a radar on? This game doesn't have radars. This game has the Sega version of it, the scanner. Anything detected in the scanner will show up on your screen, on the HUD. So every once in a while, stop, do that. Stop, do that. If there's nothing detected, just keep doing that.
It's too quiet.
Okay, now let's see where the next point is. There's no points, which means we have to go wherever we can go here. Let's see if we can make our way this way. See if we can go up. We can get a bird's eye view. I like getting high. See that? We can't go that way. Which means they're gonna force you to go down here. Okay. See if we can make it onto the highway. Okay, let's feather the booster so our generator don't run out. Okay, there you go. Try not to break anything. We're not here to invade the place, we're just here to inspect. Okay, scanning. Nope, nothing. Scanning. Nothing. Wow. There really is nothing here. Okay, we're gonna go down onto that building right there.
Watch out, 621.
Scan.
Watch its shots and see where they're coming from.
I think I see where the shots are coming from. I got you, you son of a bitch. There you are.
Stick to it like glue. You'll lose it if it gets too far.
Eat that. It moved? Oh, you... bitch! Can't believe the fucking thing moved. The goddamn thing moved. That's crazy. Man, my generator sucks. I got one. And that's one.
AP at 50%.
Oh, you prick. Got a positive lock. That was hard. That's... Oh, now he's behind me now? Son of a bitch. This guy's hello. Fire so we can see it, damn it. He's right there. Gotta get a lock. How am I gonna get a lock on this guy? How am I getting a positive lock on this thing? God damn. If I move at all, he's barely hitting the top. So if I move up, if I jump, he'll be able to get a clean hit and I'm dead. And I can't even get a positive lock on him. So I need, which means I need a longer range FCS in order to tackle these things. My FCS is not nearly as long as they should be. I need a longer range FCS. Oh, that's not good. See how it's being used in one of these repair kits.
2 repair kits remaining.
Okay, there you go. I try not to use those. I try to save them, but those were introduced when Sega made the Armored Core games. The repair kits are fairly new. And they were the only time they were ever reintroduced was in this game. Bandai Namco never put it in the PlayStation 3 version. PlayStation 3 version was exactly like the old version. This version is more. This version reminds me of the Sega version, which I don't like. The missions are extremely broken. You can't beat them like this one can't, like this one is. And I mean, the parts don't work. That's the way Sega ran this game, and I didn't like it. I got through two missions, and I said, "Screw you! I'm done. I'm not playing this game. I don't like it." I'm getting to the point on this game where I'm about to say that, because you know what? Bandai Namco is gonna ruin the series with this game. This game is absolutely useless. None of these lock-ons work. They have that big, huge laser that can kill you in one shot, and they give you weapons that can't even lock. This weapon is not able to lock.
AP at 50%.
Oh, fuck, man. Really? If I die, it's over. If I get that lock and I deal damage,
AP at 50%.
fuck me, I only have one more. He moved again? He definitely did. Let's see where he went. Where did you go? I think he's over. Yep, he's right there. Oh, fuck me. He's so fast. He switches spots instantly. Oh, you can't even charge a shot. For real? Oh, God damn you.
AP at 30%.
Oh, fuck me. I am so done with this bitch. Oh, this guy can kiss my ass. Probably better off doing this. By doing this, he's gonna aim at one spot. If I'm moving... Ah.
AP at 50%.
I had no more repair kits. No more repair kits, guys. That's it. And this is only the first enemy.
MDD. Encoded comms. Snap back behind what happened here. 621. Continue the investigation.
And that was only the first guy. It's ridiculous. I'm almost dead. I use up half my ammunition, all my repair kits on one guy. Tell me if this is fair. It's not. What corporation did I piss off to not be able to get the parts I need? If I could get over here, bind cover and scan. Maybe if I can get a good scan in, I might be able to get some idea of where the target. Oh my God, he's staring right at me. Oh my God, that bastard was staring right at me. He didn't see me. Jesus, mother of God. Well, we're good so far. As long as you stay undetected, you'll be fine. These vertical missiles in these missions are definitely something you have to have. Who cares if you're in the minus? Because he doesn't even see you.
Left shoulder ammunition at 50%.
I think he's dead.
It's got you in its sights. Another one of those stealth mechs. Don't let it outpace you, 621.
AP at 30%.
Shit. And I can't lock onto it because I'm not. I need a longer range FCS. Unfortunately, I don't have a company that has one.
I think there's more than one this time.
Oh, don't tell me!
Mark your targets to undermine their tricks.
Do not tell me this. Don't you dare tell me there's more than one. I can't even handle one.
Right shoulder ammunition at 50%.
Oh, wonderful. He's right there. Gotcha.
Machine down. Keep going and stay sharp.
I'm telling you, vertical missile launchers, you want them. They're definitely coming handy. I'm telling you, vertical missile launchers, they're so much better than guns in missions like this. Vertical missile launchers are handy because sensors are least likely to detect them being launched because they're hitting them from the top. And upper armor is always the weakest, no matter what you're piloting. Upper armor is the weakest. Okay, moving on. think he's done. Nope, he is not.
According to the blueprint, there's a massive water reservoir deep inside the arsenal. If there's anything waiting for us, that's where it'll be. See, I told you.
Oh, I snuck up on it. The gun couldn't handle it. The gun couldn't fire fast enough. Shit. This game is extremely hard, and they don't give you near enough parts. They don't give you the parts you need. They don't give you the guns or the parts you need. They don't give you anything. It sucks, but what are you going to do? There's absolutely nothing you do about it. So just go back to the garage. That's it. You can't go back because you already completed them. All you can do is just work with what you got and figure out a way to defeat those things. Now, the gun I have right now doesn't work. I need a lock for those. So naturally, this entire mech has to be redone just for this mission. Which sucks because I don't have the money for this. Think of it this way. I need an extremely long range FCS. Once I have a long range FCS, I should be okay. And then I get a head that has a decent amount of electronics in it. I should be okay. But I just can't do it. Now, these are something new. Before we end the stream, this is something new. These are called OST chips. I've never heard of these. This must be specifically made only for this game. It looks to me like these are software updates for the AC. So instead of just simply buying a core that has better stuff in it, you can keep the same core but update the expansion slots. For example, I have assault armor in the mech itself, but I do not have assault armor programmed to activate. So I need to save up 3 OST chips in order to activate the assault armor. And then when I get the other armors, I can activate the other armors. So as of right now, I have assault armor, but I can't activate it because I can't activate the assault armor because I don't have the chip installed to activate it. Now, in the past, you have a weapon, that's the way you have it. In this game, you can tune your weapons to do different things. The only problem is the mech has to be able to handle it. As of right now, my mech can only handle what it has. I need to put OST chips in all of these in order to be able to change anything. So I mean, for example, do you guys remember in Armored Core Masters of, remember in the PlayStation 3 Armored Core, remember that one? Do you remember heavy bipedals used to be able to boost kick? Well, guess what? You can enable boost kicks right there. You can actually boost kick another enemy with the heavy bipedal legs. Again, you can only do a boost kick if you have it, and if you have the OST chips to enable the boost kick. So even though you have so much stuff at your availability, if you don't have the chips to activate it, you can't do anything. Right now, all you can do is basic shit, because your AC has none of this. All this stuff you're looking at right now, if you had OST chips for it, you would be able to activate all of this. You don't have any of this when you start the game. So you have to defeat each and one of these guys with really beef-caked ACs, when the ACs are nowhere near what they're supposed to be. Is that fair? No. When did these games ever make anything fair? They don't. So anyway, that's what OS tuning is. I never went over it, but it's about time I did, because OS tuning is it's a fairly new function. Weight control. What weight control is? Weight control increases the amount of weight that leg you have equipped right now can handle. No matter what leg you put on, it increases the amount of weight that those legs can handle. So, in reality, the first thing you should unlock, if you intend on only using heavy bipeds, boost kick, and weight control. Those are your first two. You need 4 OST chips to get your boost kick and your weight control. After you get boost kick and weight control, then you should be okay. You should be able to put whatever you want on those legs and you will not go overweight. For now, you don't have availability to OST chips, so you don't have any of this right now. As of this point, you don't have any of this. All this is just, you don't even know what this is at this point. So, at this point in the game, you're screwed. In fact, you don't even have access to any of the parts you're supposed to have yet. All you can do is go in the arena and sortie and hope to God you can get past the levels. pray to God. I mean, AC design. Let's go on there and see if we can try and redo some of the weapons. Burst rifle, laser rifle. Let's try the laser rifle. Okay. Now that's vertical missile launcher. We want the vertical missile launchers. Head. Okay, now let's see. Is there anything involving the radar? I don't think they have radars in this game. No, they don't. They have scan distance. Scan effect duration. Which, this is the best part. So, that's it. Okay, booster efficiency, generator output, anti-explosive defense, anti-energy defense. Sure enough, my anti-energy defense is lower with this core. I might have to change the core because this one has extremely high anti-kinetic defense. So I might have to find a core that has a high energy defense because that beam is an energy beam. So what I could do is I could go back into the shop, parts shop, and find anti-energy cores. See how much they are. See if I can afford them. See, again, not much. We don't got that much in here. Nope. The one I have right now is the best one. The one I have right now is the absolute best one. So it's nothing we got. So this does absolutely Jack and his friend until we get farther up in the game. And I have to see if we can try and figure out a way to hit those things. Because I can't get a longer range FCS, I am unable to use my lock-on weapons. So I'm unable to actually lock on to anything. And the fact of the matter is all my weapons require lock-ons, including the guns. Which is one reason why I had a kinetic weapon, because I had a lot of ammo. At this point, I probably should have a machine gun, because machine guns have a lot of ammunition on them. Because I could just paint shots in random spots and just hope to God that something shows up. Because the head can only scan so far. And they usually are behind things. As soon as you fire one shot, they're aware of your surrounding, they're aware of your location, and they move. As soon as they move, they're lost. If you hit those things one time, they move to a completely different spot. You won't see them move. And they'll hit you as soon as they drop down. So there's really nothing you can do about it. There's absolutely nothing to do about it. So that mission is extremely frustrating. Beyond frustrating. So it is what it is, guys. All right. So with that, I bid you all bid you all a good work week. Hope you guys all have a good work week. Hope the work week's productive for all you guys, and we'll see you guys all on Friday with another video. I'll post another video on Friday. Thank you very much for watching. As per usual, please like and subscribe to the channel if you're watching from YouTube. If you're watching from YouTube, also please comment down below. Really appreciate it if you do. Alright? If you're watching from PlayStation Network, please follow me if you could. Or would really appreciate it if you would. Also, if you can, if you could please also follow me and comment on the video as well. I have no idea how to I have no idea how to answer the comments. But if you do comment, I really would appreciate it if you would. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone for all your support. Big hugs to everybody. Thank you and have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful night. Thank you.